We're doing a deep dive into a celebrity engagement that's got everybody talking, and for more reasons than one, really. We're talking about Selena Gomez and music producer Benny Blanco. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another celebrity couple. Big deal.
Right. Heard it all before.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Because this is anything but your typical Hollywood love story.
You can say that again. I mean, usually we're left piecing together these little bits and pieces, right? Like cryptic Instagram posts, trying to figure out when these couples even got together in the first place. But with this one, we actually have a pretty clear origin story.
And it's not what you'd expect, right?
No, not at all.
Come on, spill the tea. What makes this Hollywood romance so different?
Well, it didn't start with a chance meeting at some fancy Hollywood party or on a movie set. You ready for this?
Huh.
Selena's mom, Mandy Teefey, is the one who set them up. You don't see that every day, do you? Matchmaking moms in Hollywood.
Like, seriously. I thought those days were long gone.
Right, exactly. It kind of throws a wrench into that whole how did they meet mystery that we're so used to with celebrity couples. Like, think about, I don't know, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They're always so coy about how they got together.
Totally. So Mandy Teefey basically played Cupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, did she, like, have this master plan all along?
Yeah.
Or was this a total spur-of-the-moment setup?
We don't actually know all the nitty-gritty details of how it went down, but just the fact that Selena's mom was, like, the driving force behind their initial meeting, that's fascinating. It really is. It hints at a very different dynamic than what we're used to seeing.
Definitely. And we should probably mention that Selena was pretty young when they first met.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, what, 16 or 17? I mean, that's a pretty noticeable age gap, especially considering Benny was already a successful producer at that point.
Absolutely. And that age difference just adds another layer to the story, doesn't it? It really makes you wonder what their relationship was like back then. Was it completely platonic? Or did they have more of a mentor-mentee kind of vibe going on?
And how in the world did that turn romantic?
Yeah. Like, what was the turning point?
Well, what's interesting is that Selena has actually said that she had a crush on Benny before he liked her.
Oh, is that right?
I know. She even admitted it in an interview. She said, I liked him before he liked him. Kind of cute, huh?
Yeah. It's definitely sweet. And it's not the typical Hollywood story, right?
Not at all. It's like a role reversal. Selena's the one taking the lead here.
Exactly. Expressing her feelings first, which is pretty refreshing to see, honestly.
Yeah. Then you've got Benny's side of the story. He comes out and says he knew right away that Selena was the one. Pretty bold statement, right? Especially for someone who lives their life in the public eye.
It's a powerful statement, for sure. And it's even more striking when you consider that they got engaged after only dating for a few months. Talk about a whirlwind romance. It makes you wonder, was there just this instant, intense connection? What made them move so quickly?
It's definitely a whirlwind, that's for sure. Especially in Hollywood, where we're so used to seeing these long, drawn-out courtships and, very public breakups.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just think about Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Engaged after, a few weeks? And then done just as fast.
Yeah, and for some reason, those high-profile, short-lived relationships almost seem more common than those, those rock-solid Hollywood couples.
Yeah, right.
Like Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson.
Yep. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they've been together forever.
Ew.
And that's what makes Selena and Benny's engagement so interesting, right? It kind of bucks the trend. It really does make you wonder if maybe, just maybe, they've found some kind of secret formula for making it work in the spotlight. Now, we should probably mention that all of this news is coming from an interview with a magazine that's, let's just say, known for its entertainment focus.
Right.
So, is there a chance that this whole thing is, a big publicity stunt?
You always have to consider that possibility, especially in the world of celebrity news.
Yeah.
It's a world where publicists will use strategic leaks and very carefully crafted narratives to keep their clients in the headlines.
For sure.
But even if there's a little PR sprinkled in there, it doesn't mean that the feelings aren't real.
Right. So are taking it with a grain of salt, but we're acknowledging that even celebrities have, real lives and real emotions.
Exactly. And in this case, there are actually a few things that suggest this might be more than just a publicity grab.
Like what?
Like, think about the matchmaking aspect. That's not something you typically invent for, a PR stunt.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
It feels very personal to share, right? Like, it wouldn't be on a publicist's checklist of things to make up.
Exactly. It feels more authentic, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, we're getting a genuine peek into their lives. And it also says a lot about Selena's relationship relationship with her mom. I mean, it suggests a level of trust and closeness that goes beyond, your typical mother-daughter bond.
Yeah, especially in Hollywood, right?
Oh, absolutely. It makes you wonder just how much influence Mandy Teefey has had on Selena's, career, her personal life.
Right. I mean, she was her manager for years.
Exactly. They have a long history together, a strong bond that's clearly weathered some storms. And it seems like that bond includes major life decisions, like, choosing a partner.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. We're talking about Hollywood here. They both have these crazy busy careers. Selena's a singer, she's an actress, an entrepreneur. Benny's a top music producer. I mean, can a relationship really survive under that kind of pressure?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
We've seen so many high-profile couples just crash and burn under the weight of their careers and just the constant, relentless scrutiny of the public eye.
Oh, tell me about it. Just think about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, or Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. I mean, they were Hollywood royalty and they couldn't make it work.
And it's not just the pressure of fame, right? It's about finding that balance between their individual ambitions and their life together. Are they going to collaborate on music? Will their relationship become like this source of inspiration for their art? Or will they struggle to maintain their own separate identities while being a couple?
Those are all really good questions. And honestly, I don't have the answers. I really don't. But I am curious to see how it all plays out because it's such a unique mix. You have these unconventional beginnings, you have Hollywood glamour, you have what seems to be genuine affection.
It really is. And it reminds us that even in a world of, fame and fortune, people are still looking for love and connection. And sometimes it comes from the most unexpected places.
Like a matchmaking mom.
Exactly, like a matchmaking mom.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those stories that makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about celebrity romance.
Right, it really does. And there's just so much to unpack here. You have that whole whirlwind romance element, you have the matchmaking mom, and then there's the question of, how their careers are going to play into it all.
Yeah. It's almost like watching a social experiment unfold in real time.
In a way, yeah. And it's like, we all have front row seats. Will they be one of those couples that, beats the odds, become like a legendary Hollywood power couple? Or is it all going to come crashing down?
Right. It's Hollywood after all. So, to wrap things up here, what would you say are the things that really make this engagement stand out? Like, why is everyone so fascinated?
Well, I think the number one thing has got to be Mandy Teefey.
Selena's mom.
Yeah, her playing matchmaker, it's just not something you see every day, right? And it adds this layer of realness to this whole celebrity world.
Definitely. And then, of course, there's the timeline.
Oh, yeah. The speed of it all. A few months of dating, boom, engaged. It's such a contrast to all those celebrity couples who drag things out forever. And it just makes you think, how deep is their connection, really? Can they handle the pressure that comes with being, a super famous couple?
And let's not forget about their careers. They're both super successful. Could this be like a boost for their creative sides? Or will it end up being a source of tension and competition?
It really could go either way. Only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah.
But no matter what happens, I think their story's definitely got everyone's attention. It really has. And it makes you think about love and fame and how relationships work in this crazy world we live in.
It does. So before we go, any parting thoughts for our listeners? Something to chew on during their day?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway here is that love can pop up in the most unexpected places. Even in Hollywood, a place that feels totally manufactured sometimes. Real connections can happen. And those connections can challenge everything we think we know about how relationships should work. Selena and Benny's story is proof that there's no right way to find love. Sometimes the most unconventional paths lead to the best destinations.
And hey, maybe it'll inspire some of our listeners to be a little more open to those unexpected connections, right? You never know where you'll find the one, even if it's thanks to your mom. That's all for today's deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating story to unpack.